New reports show China waited 6 key days after determining they were facing a global crisis to alert the public, and has repeatedly underreported the deaths and total number of infections in the origin country.
The Chinese Communist Party is responsible for every single death, every job lost, every retirement nest egg lost from this coronavirus. And Xi Jinping and his Chinese communist apparatchiks must be made to pay the price.
At the start of the coronavirus epidemic, Republican Senator Tom Cotton faced criticism in the mainstream media as a conspiracy theorist for pointing the finger at China. Now that outlets like the Washington Post might be changing their tune, Cotton tells Fox News it's time for action against China.
I think we need to make the American courts open for lawsuits against Chinese communist leaders.
Gordon Chang, author of The Coming Collapse of China, agrees with Cotton's theory that the virus may have come from a biolab accident in Wuhan.
In terms of motivation, this is a really important question because even though this was an accidental release, Beijing had malign motives. Because as I mentioned, they knew about the human-to-human transmissibility of this. They knew, and they urged countries to accept travelers from China.
And tells CBN News' Faith Nation he questions the numbers China's reported.
And in any reporting, you're going to have some delays. But in China, in addition to that, you're also having deliberate falsification because the gap is too large.
And he's concerned with the Chinese government's efforts to prevent foreign researchers from studying the origin of the outbreak.
We know that Beijing has been, as I mentioned, trying to suppress investigation, so they've got something to hide.
Secretary of Defense Mark Esper isn't convinced of the lab theory.
This is something we've been watching closely now for some time. The results are inconclusive.
But says he wishes China had been more transparent earlier.
The majority of the views right now is that it is natural, that it was organic. But I think we need to continue to work this. And once we get beyond the pandemic, we'll have a chance to look back and really find out what happened, and then to take the proper precautions to make sure that we prevent this in the future.
Adding to the tension between the U.S. and China are new reports China might be secretly conducting nuclear tests. China refutes accusations it failed to comply with the suspension of nuclear tests and says that claims the coronavirus originated in one of their labs have no scientific basis. Reporting from Washington, Abigail Robertson, CBN News.